hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lorena Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture. Now, let's try this again. Take two. Pop culture analysis and keeping it real when it comes to theme parks. So, welcome to the After School Special Show. This is a special where we get together with a bunch of folks, meet after school, talk cool pop culture topics, and all of that stuff and just have a good time. Today is probably going to be a very, very interesting discussion. It's one I've been looking forward to having, especially considering that we have a person more knowledgeable about Star Wars lore than like 99.9% of Lucasfilm at the time. So we're going to be discussing the entire totality of, I think it's the Book of the Mandalorian, right, guys? It really is Book of the Mandalorian, but you all better know it as the Book of Boba Fett. So we're going to talk about that. And let me bring up my panel because I see the back chatter in the back.
It stopped her. It stopped her like twice. Do you notice that she stopped twice?
Yeah.
She was really like, "What the hell's going on in the background about oppression? What's going
And I'm
on?"
like, what's worse, oppression or being objectified? Which one?
I don't know. I've seen myself naked. I don't want to be objectified. I'm already out.
Oh, at least you're honest.
I am honest, and so is my mirror with all the cracks.
Oh my goodness.
Objects appear smaller than they appear.
That's not a battle of optics. That's a battle of blindness and eyesight. That's pretty much what it is.
Oh,
And I turn on the shower without looking at my reflection.
Well, I wish Karen on line one wants to speak to the manager.
What's a manager? I want to speak to a manager.
You can talk to the Rancor outside.
Yeah, when he's not stomping buildings and whatnot, shaking water like it's Jurassic Park or something like that. But
The Jurassic Park trailer was good, though. I'm going to bring that up. If you've seen the new one, that was actually pretty good. They got the old school cast in that.
that's what I've been waiting for.
I've seen the old school cast. I didn't see the trailer or the whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Malcolm
I
and the
saw
other two.
the cast, so I knew the old school cast was coming back. That's what I've been hyped about for so long. So I'm actually going to review the trailer, and I can't wait. I've been waiting for this one because the previous Jurassic Park movie was ass. I don't forgive them for what they did to that brachiosaur, letting it die like that. No. No.
Well, you see, the reoccurring thing that they have to do is always bring back original cast in order to make things better.
Hey, Justin, we haven't even started talking about this. Don't insult our show like there's like F this show. It sucks. We haven't even.
Oh, God, yeah, they know, because as soon as they announced all the OG characters from Jurassic Park coming back, the internet blew up. It blew up, and it was basically like, see, this is how you freaking do it, and you screwed up. So just saying. I
got you quickly, Lorraine. I think this can sum up all of our feelings, and I'll give it to you. I'll get it for you right now. I think this will sum it up in the video share, right?
Yes, pretty much. That is.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I need that.
I know.
I need it so bad.
I love it.
Cringe-worthy scene number 19.
Justin, I'm joking, bro. I know what you meant. I was kidding. Literally, I was kidding, dude. You're a very pleasant individual when you're getting
Hey,
the mic.
Justin. Dude, I can't wait to see that trailer. I've been waiting all day after work to finally do it and do a reaction video to it. But first of all, there are 17 of you folks in here with us. Thank you so very much. This is the After School Special, and we got lots of friends here to talk about Book of Boba Fett. So what we're going to do first is go around and introduce ourselves real quick, our channels, and we'll first start with one of my wing ladies from Toxic Femininity, which would be so let's go start with her and go around.
Hey, hello everybody. As Lorena stated already, I do stream with Lorena on Toxic Femmes on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. I also have my own channel called Positive Fandom, and you can find a bunch of videos on there of all the IPs we love. And I also stream on the Burn Network. And I pretty much make comments and about all of our great shows, like what we're doing tonight. Guys, come and check out Positive Fandom. And I'm so happy to be here tonight with you, Lorena, and all of you.
Glad to meet you. Hello.
We're so glad to have you here with us. Absolutely. Anzo, would you introduce yourself? Tell the folks where they can find you.
What's up, guys? Big Afford Entertainment. We do OOC, where we do real life topics on the show. We also have the Chaos Conversation, which is Danny's show, or Chaotic Conversation. Mine is Chaotic Lists. We do comic book stuff over there. Just glad to be here, man. I'm ready to talk about this show, I guess. Let's keep
going. Man, it's like we have some itchy trigger fingers on here, and rightfully so about this show. Well, glad to have you here as always, talking this, Anzo. I appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
And one of my wing ladies from Blvd, which we had last night on OG's channel. Girl, introduce who you are and where the people can find you, because I'm so glad you're here with us today.
Well, thank you for having me on. I am OG Star Wars, going in as OG Sintis Vel in the original lore. That is Boba Fett's wife. So there you go. So a little bit of classic Star Wars here for you as well. And thank you again for having me on. You can find me on my channel, OG Star Wars, where I specialize George Lucas era of Star Wars, knowledge, lore, all of the fun stuff, maybe compare and contrast between both lores. So you guys can make your decision where you want to get your lore from. You want it from Disney, or do you want it from George Lucas era Star Wars? You decide. So thank you again for having me on.
Well, you are welcome, girl. Love it.
I want to put Kurtzman.
You want what?
I want Kurtzman to do Star Wars. Let's go down that road and see how horrifying it's going to be.
Hell to the no.
It was only magical when George was involved with that, because he had the final say on everything. So
yes, just that tight creative.
He was the heart of everything.
He was a toy of direction.
And next we have Guy Scar, aka the Bosco Scenario, with us. Tell folks where they can find you.
Find me on the Basco Scenario. I have a show Wednesdays called The Hangout at 8 p.m. and another show on Fridays called Wait, Hold Up, Wait. And that's more political. But yeah, I just had to start that political thing with everything that's going on in Canada. So just focus up on that stuff, you know, and welcome to the Rebellion Canada.
That's right.
It is.
Proud of you guys. Love it. Love it. Glad you're here with us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And Fat Steven, tell the folks where they can find you, my dear.
Oh, dear Lord. All right, let's do the culture long term. You can find me on my channel. As you know, I usually do gaming, Babylon 5, pop culture. I co-host with The Lunch Table and other shows with the lovely Lorena here. But lately, it's been the last, I guess, week or so. It's done a full 180, and I have tried to do as much commentary, reaction, and sharing out live feeds of everyone that's been going on, everything that's been going on in Ottawa. Both the one side we see from our the way mainstream and stuff is moving, and the way we're seeing it on the streets. I give all credit to people who are streaming down there, and I'll put it this way, you know, that thing where you finally find something where it kind of overtakes everything you're thinking about, but it's like a passion down the road. It's been a few days. So everyone here is actually from my chat who are watching those who are here now. Thank you. And I hate Boba Fett. I want to kill it all. I shall burn him with fire. I watched this episode. Oh my god, I can't keep my mouth shut anymore. This is trash.
We are gonna get there. I'm telling you, it's like, oh my god. When I say I've been looking forward to this show, I have been looking forward to this show. To hear from all of y'all on it. But definitely want to welcome you folks here in the chat joining us, because you know what, we can sit up here and talk, you know, amongst ourselves, but you guys in the chat, you know what, you guys bring up thoughts and observations, and you know that we appreciate here on the show. So we need you, we need you on the show, trust me. So let's see, we have Anime who said let's go. Well, hello Anime, and thank you for joining us here, appreciate that. We have Nick Critic TV that says the Boba Fett show does not deserve such a glorious thumbnail. Yeah, it's getting much more than it deserves for sure. Well, thank you, and thank you for the compliment on the thumbnail. We have Zachary at 315 says howdy, y'all. Well, howdy to you, Zachary. Glad you are here. We have Jennifer Cisco who is here with us waving, and thank you for being a channel member, Jennifer Cisco. I appreciate that. We've got Louise Exparrow who says evening. Hello, my dear. Glad you are here. We have Snortopoopas Cuber, who's another channel member that says, hello, humans and other critters. Well, hello, hello, hello. Sci-Fi for me TV is in here. Says half afternoon, folks. Afternoon to you. Glad you're joining us here. And let's see, who else do we have? We have, of course, Soul Assassin, who says howdy, y'all. Well, howdy to you
What's up,
too.
Bato? How you doing, my homie? All right.
That's all right.
We got a good joke going on because I was making
Man.
fun of a character that looked like a Mexican gangster. I was like, he looks like a Bato and stuff. And he listened to it, and now we have that little running joke between each other.
Oh, that's funny. We have John Ware Jr. He says, always happy to see you, Lorena. Congrats on reaching 3K.
Yes.
Well, thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so very much. I'm going to have my 3K celebration stream February 19th, which is Saturday at 7 p.m. I already have the stream up there on YouTube, so please do drop in for that. I'm so thankful to all of you folks who have helped that happen, including people here on this panel who have helped as well. So thank you so very much. I'm looking forward to that. It's just going to be an unscripted fun time.
And I'm going to say this right now, just because I'm there with you now. I'm not wearing a Samba outfit. Okay, your 3K is going to be way different than mine. I am not wearing a Samba outfit.
No, I'm fully taking a hit for that because my mouth wrote a check that my butt was not intending on cashing because I didn't think I was ever going to get there.
Well, I just say this. You already heard the mirror jokes and the naked jokes earlier, and I'm standing by that. I'm not putting that on anyone. They can't see the subscribe button. I'm screwed.
Thank you for that, Steve.
Oh, anytime, stroke your beard more in interest, there, guys.
Maybe
I'm
I'll
trying.
come in and wear my belly dance bra top just to support you since you're doing that.
Oh, that's awesome! Thank you, thank you. I've got like a bin.
When is this again?
The 19th, February 19th.
Can I be the master of the enhance? Please enhance.
Why not?
Hold on. Enhance. Thank you.
It's gonna be a blast. I can't wait. Dylan Campbell says, "Woo, stream time! Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed." And Stunning and Brave Megaton says, I saw that one dude was breakdancing while in a good fight.
Oh,
Is
anyone else noticed that?
Boba Fett the musical was the wrong set.
For real.
Honestly, someone needs to take them out, rotoscope them, and just put it over top of the Olympics going in Beijing right now as one of the ice contenders and see how that goes.
Oh my God. Hey Justin. Yeah, F this show and stuff.
F this show and stuff.
For real.
Yeah.
That's how Cintas Val is filling in my picture. She's holding the blaster up. She said, fuck this show. This is not the real Boba Fett. I have the real Boba Fett. There you go.
What have you done to my husband?
Hello, Commander Extractor of Shadow, and thank you for being a channel member. Says Reina Creole. Hello, beautiful Lorena and Stephen. Okay, another Book of Boba Meh autopsy. And there's like the villages. It's Boba Meh to you. Meh. Yes, it is Boba Meh. I keep calling it Mandalorian. Season 3.
It wasn't even a full series. You made a 7-episode series. And 4 episodes were about Boba Fett. Then 3 episodes.
So I can't call it that exactly.
I
Well,
can call it something. But
thank you, Justin, for being here. Justin has a show at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, folks. So just want to remind you to drop by Justin's show right then. And let's see, the Cavateño is here. Donnie Pearson is here. So ding ding, oh man, no holds barred. Ding ding. Yeah, we're going for the jugular.
I'm just Sean Hannity this show, I swear to God.
Hey, Donnie Pearson.
Hello.
Hope says hello to all of us.
What's
All of
up?
us. Hope everyone is blessed this evening. Sorry for the delay. I'm working on my recreation of The Typewriter by Leroy Anderson. Sound really busy.
Oh.
All right. All right. Well, glad you're here, Donnie.
Our
And
girl
Pam.
Nina's in here. She just,
Oh, is she? Hey, girl, I'm getting down to the bottom. I'll get there. I'll get there. Hi, Nina. I'll get there.
Hi,
Like I
Ma.
said, I couldn't make it
Stay
to the
on
first
target.
episode of Boba
Stay on
Trash.
target. Which is the target?
Over dramatic music at weird points, the strange fight scenes. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, oh Lord, we're gonna get into that. We're so gonna get into that. I want to say hi to everybody. Hey, Vertical Horizons, like a bantha. I keep saying it in my head. Like a bantha.
Kabantha.
Like a bantha.
Yeah.
there's one clip we have where it has dun 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 dun. It has all that, and then it goes like a bantha, and then you can repeat it back. It's so funny.
Well, the best way to look at it is like this. Done. I am done. I am done. Like Bantha.
You know what? I'm so serious, and I can't believe no one's done this. How come no one's done Boba Fett doing that, but it's set to the music of Pony by Genuine?
I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about that, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
I had I'm
that
sorry,
hasn't
Miss Jackson in
happened
my
yet.
head. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, then she gets shot, and that's pretty much what I'm going.
I'm telling you,
I
the parody
am for
videos
real.
are funnier than
Mhm.
Hey, Terminus, glad to see you. Glad to see you
What's-
here. One of
what's
the
the movie
pun
about?
masters. How you doing? And Monkey Jeebus is here with us. George Lucas erased Boba Fett's original origin in the holiday special. I think I wiped my mind of the holiday special.
Yeah,
Very pause everywhere.
I don't think that is like what you would say true canon in that era of Star Wars. Anyways, it was because there's a lot of things. There's I don't know. That one is like you would just say, okay, that's just there for the fun of it if you really like it.
Mhm.
Other than that.
Thank you, OG, for tossing out links. I appreciate that, my dear, so very, very much. And I do believe we have. Okay, hey Nina. This is hey Reina Creole on panel. I'm here for the spoilers. So, who was the big guest star cameo for the finale?
My vomit.
I say the Rancor.
That was gonna say, was.
Yeah,
We knew that was coming. But they
absolutely.
spent so much time giving us the Mandalorian and Din Djarin. We missed out on like opportunities of him like bonding or at least trying to ride or whatever and doing all those little developmental scenes for Boba Fett and what's to
I
come.
agree. Yeah.
Oh no, that's totally not true though, because if we actually look at it in retrospect, after episode 4, it became Boba Fett learning how to play Charlie Chaplin. Very silent, not really moving, and it was very comedic.
Oh, that's another one. Hey, CJ.
Like a baby.
For the very first time.
Like a Tuscan. I can't fall in my Solo.
No solo. No solo.
Oh, that's
But you know what? We're gonna go ahead and get started because our panel has a lot to freaking say. And since your girl needs pictures, because that's just the kind of person that I am. So we're gonna go around the horn here. We're gonna start the bottom with what were your overall impressions of episode 7 in context with the previous 6 episodes of the Book of the Mandalorian?
Well, there's so much to say.
That's why we're here.
I think that they tried to pack every single action scene they could into the last episode, which is okay if it were done in a better way. Even I, as a Grogu super fan, knew that they had rushed putting his story in here, that it was not placed well, so it ruined the vibe and the way that they were trying to do whatever story they were doing with Boba Fett. And for some reason, they don't want Boba to fight, but he fought a little bit, but it still wasn't the bloodbath gore, beheadings, whatever you want that I was hoping to see. We saw Fennec kind of do it a little bit. I think that if you took out the Mandalorian parts and we were just left with the story of the Team Boba trying to take over, it was somewhat lackluster. The cool parts where Black K was beating people was nice. It was good, but we're still kind of left a little empty because the passion that Boba naturally has was never shown. And, we didn't get any romance. They blew up the one decent chick in town.
Right?
There's got to be.
So
I don't care what it is, but there should have been some kind of romance because I when I look at Boba, I can't imagine that he's this person who just, this is it. He's not doing anything. He's not getting involved with anybody. It just doesn't even make any sense from, being an organism on anywhere in the galaxy. People want to be with somebody else. So they didn't give us that. So the fighting is gone. That's gone. He kind of took over, but it didn't feel like a victory. It was kind of like, okay, everybody's dead now. It's done. And I'm like, are we done? Is it over yet? Did it finish yet? The only thing I felt somewhat a little bit of completion was the Mandalorian and Grogu, who, as I said before, they rushed it. I didn't feel that it was ready for this. I thought I wasn't going to see Grogu for a few years, and I'm a super fan of Grogu. I thought I wasn't going to see him for another 2 or 3 years, but here he is in the story, and yeah. I have nothing else to say about it. I've watched it several times, but I felt that, it's I honestly felt, see, now I have to bring mine out. You had to do that. I honestly felt that
mine is in storage and I miss it.
I honestly felt that he needed to be in school longer and that he should have brought him back to school with Luke, and Luke could train him for like maybe another 5 years and also help Din with the saber. But I didn't want to have this discussion now, and they forced me to go there now. And I personally wasn't even ready for this, to pick up the story right now. It takes a lot of mental energy for me to think about Grogu and Din, and I know that's very corny, but it does. I wanted to be blown away by Boba Fett. I wanted to see him wiping blood off of his face as he's killed people. I wanted to see him lamenting about all the stuff that's happened in his life. I would have actually been fine if I saw a moment where he actually cried or showed some emotion. But it's okay. He had to be this character that they were portraying, and I accepted that. But I'm still very conflicted about it because I don't believe that. I think that they held something back about him. They're not showing us everything about him. And if they had said, we're just going to show you a little bit, season 2 will delve more into Boba, but they didn't prepare us for any of this. So I felt like I've been left in the dark. This was a very bad relationship with Boba for me. I feel like he's been holding back. I want to know what goes on in this man's head and in his heart, and what's really driving him. It's got to be more than what we've been told. There must be something more. This man looks like a passionate man. Despite everything he's been through, we already know, like from the comics and the lore, there's so much more to this story. Why would they not give us a little bit more of a story for Boba? But we got kitchen capers, we got that uncomfortable ride. We got the crazy Vespa story. There were so many cringe moments in here that it was hard. It diverted your attention away from even thinking about more of a Zen. If he wants to do yoga, that's fine. Let him do yoga. I'm fine with that. Let him be healthier. Let his life change. Let him emerge. But I at least want to see a flower bloom. And I didn't get that. I didn't see a blooming flower in Boba Fett. And I wanted to see that.
Very well said. Hanzo, you want to follow up with that?
I'm like, I don't even know how to follow up with that. You know what I mean? Like, damn. I just I'll just go with my catchphrase. This show was trash. It was absolute trash. You know what I mean? The one episode I liked was the one with Luke. And this final episode, it was like, I knew they were going to do the Rancor thing because they told us that, I wrote something bigger and the new was coming. It didn't look as corny as I thought it would. But most of the fight scenes in this final episode just look bad, man. Yoda Fett.
I'm trying so hard to keep my mouth shut. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
It's
okay.
getting to you. It's getting to you, Steve.
I know. So is my inability.
Just mute him if he can't control himself. That would.
Hey, we'll come down there and like a bantha you. Move my avatar closer.
Holy crap! Like a bantha me, you know?
Yeah,
That's
like a
right.
bantha.
like a bantha. It means I won't talk or say anything or use my blaster.
This turns into totally something different when you say, "I'm going to do you like a bantha." Okay?
No, I didn't say it like that. I said like a. Oh my god! I need an adult. I feel very, very uncomfortable right now about my masculinity. Who's wearing the pants now? I feel awkward. What's going on?
I think you should start some yoga.
Oh yeah, that's what everyone wants to see. My
Well,
doing.
well, Anzo, besides this was trash. Anything else?
Yeah, I think the fight scenes, they weren't good. Like, they weren't choreographed good. Like, I've seen better fight scenes in B movies when I was growing up, you know? So I thought that could be worked on as well. The story itself, just, you don't really get a lot of motivation for why Boba Fett wanted to be the daimyo or why he wanted to stay with the Sand People and stuff like that, right? And instead of having those 2 episodes of Mando, you could have done that. You could have fleshed it out more. So for me, I wasn't a fan of the series, man, and very disappointing for me.
Lorena, I thought the Book of Boba Fett was going to be about the book that his father Django left him about how to be a bounty hunter. That's what I thought.
Oh, the code book, the code. Yes,
that would have been great.
That would have been. And I said, obviously, this is the
Creed.
Book of Boba Fett. It's about the book and his notes that he put on in the book about, well, you know, my adventures in whatever place, and it would have been like, wow, we're going to all these amazing places and seeing these amazing things, and that's not what it was.
That could have been using flashbacks correctly at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the more I see other shows, like, I'm sorry, I may interrupt you. Like, the more I see other shows, like, for example, like, say, Reacher, or even better, like an anime, say, in Demon Slayer, okay, when they do the flashbacks, they're very short, and there's a reason that you're seeing that flashback, because it's advancing the story, but it's not telling you, it's showing you. And they couldn't get that.
Yeah.
In this, and never stuck the landing really about Boba Fett's motivation. But like you say, even though I didn't know about the book, that would have been a much better concept than anything. That, okay, Boba Fett, I know who he is because I've seen the movies. You know who Jango Fett is. He finds that. It's like, oh, okay, that's something that I would like, that I would like to see and see evolve and see happen, but that would actually require imagination, and Lucasfilm decided they want to do that.
and I got a question. Was I the only one that was begging for the Power Rangers to die? Like every time something else, I was like, please, kill them all.
No. Can I tell you that in the, yes, and there's plenty of spoilers. I figured I should have told y'all this before. So at the end, the mid credits, all right, when they see the freaking Bacta tank again, and Cobb Vanth is in it. All right, you look around and you see, I guess he wasn't one of the Power. Well, I consider him part of the Power Rangers group anyway. But you see him with the little torch. I was hoping Cobb Vanth was going to open the Bacta tank and choke him.
For real. For real.
I would have freaking loved that.
For real.
That would have been a nice troll ending right there. Right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Freaking love that. OG, do you want to opine, or do you want to let Guy Scar and Fat Steven opine first?
I'm going to say a few things because
there's
things I noticed. Okay, first of all, we already know that they weren't really developing Boba Fett's character in this, okay, because there was lack thereof. Well, they should have developed the crime syndicate, the spicers, drug dealers, whatever you want to call them. They should have developed their story more instead of going into Mandalorian and trying to link everything up so that we can have this finale. They should have spent time within the crime syndicate that he's fighting against, so we can understand what exactly is going on, except other than what they told us on screen. And when you take the time to develop the antagonists to these antagonists, like I don't even know what Boba Fett is, a good guy, a bad guy, I have no idea in the show. But he's a prop, right? And so his antagonists, the people that he's fighting against to, liberate Mos Espa, basically, and the Tuskens and get revenge, I guess you can say, they should have developed the Pikes and their syndicate, all of them, and give us more deeper understanding what's going on other than that they just run through, they deliver spice. We don't know if it's just only for Tatooine or if Tatooine is just one port for them to go to and then take it to another world or another system in the Outer Rim. We have no idea about that. And so we didn't get that whatsoever. So there's poor development on top of that. And it really does an injustice to the finale. And then with Luke Skywalker being there, he friggin' delivers Grogu in the X-Wing with R2 by himself, not protecting him. You never know. He's one of the most wanted species in the galaxy because that was the whole Mandalorian arc, is rescuing him and him bonding with him because he noticed that the biting First Order wanted him, right? And he sends him all by himself on the thing, and I'm like, that is so stupid of Luke Skywalker to do. He should not have done that.
Luke wouldn't do that.
No.
Right. Right. And Luke is my favorite character from the movies. Okay. So he's my favorite character. And sorry, you guys, I if you guys were wishing that the DT was getting retconned or erased, he is not. And I DM'd Lorena with this, but basically his development about talking about attachments and him making Grogu choose, that's the old Jedi way of training and teaching. He is going back, which means leading him to the DT, because that's what disenfranchises him from that, is him realizing that he taught, the newer generation, the old stuff that really got the Jedi in trouble from the past.
Right. Because just to tap onto what OG was saying, and we really do have to have that stream about that book Sacrifice, because I read that twice. And just what you're saying, it's like Luke, he's going with a different way because the old ways, he saw what happened to the Jedi because of the old ways. So he was doing a new path forward. And that's a theme that's all throughout, at least, the two EU books, that I've read. Luke saw a different way to go, and attachment wasn't such a bad thing. It seemed that the lack of attachment and severing those attachments were one of the things that held the Jedi back.
Yeah, and so they can turn. Yeah.
To make him choose like that, I'm just sitting there like, what is it? Is it red pill, blue pill?
Right.
And remember, it was his sorry, I was just going to add that it was his attachment to his father that saved him.
Right.
From the dark side.
Exactly. And the original Luke, once we get post Return of the Jedi and he starts building the order and starts training and stuff, like when he gets to his nieces and nephews generation of Jedi that he's training, we have like Raynar Thule, him. He's still, wearing his family's garb, and he comes from like a royalty specialty type family, like a hierarchy family. He could still wear that stuff. And then we have Tenil Ka, who, basically is still wearing her Dathomirian on her mom's side garb while she's training and stuff, because he realizes that there's also individualism, and that could still be honored by still being a Jedi as well. It's being possessive and are not being able to be yourself that causes problems. So a little history there. Yeah.
The good history.
Damn.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's what I have to say so far. So next.
So far, we need to check in with OG. But I kind of wanted to, first of all, let's see. CWD Trixie's in here. Lovely. How you doing? Dread Pirate Mikey said X-Wing FedEx.
Or Uber.
That's what I said on my show. Uber child.
Uber right there. There you go.
Devious is here, says hello all. And I think I saw Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington. There's so many of you guys who have jumped in here. So thank you so much. There's like 45 of you folks in here. And yeah, Jake Skywalker would send Grogu alone. Luke would not. That actually had me very unsettled when, you see the X-Wing and I'm like, oh, okay, Luke's bringing them back, handing them, back to his dad, because remember, Grogu wanted to go with Luke, but he wanted the Mandalorian's permission to do it. So Luke had actually honored that. So I don't just having them just hand him over to the astromech. I guess he's the nanny now, R2D2. And to do that just did not it did not sit well with me, and I'm trying to think who the heck thought that that was a good idea. That is a rhetorical question because we all know whose idea that probably was to go and freaking do that. It just made no sense. So, Geisgar, you're up.
You know me, I was always hoping for the best of this whole series. I was hoping to get something good besides all the signs that it was going to suck. But we didn't get Boba Fett at all. This shouldn't have even been called Book of Boba Fett. It should have been called The Tale of Mos Espa. It would have made more sense if it would have called it that, because it had no character development of the main character. The moment we get the plot, episode 4, you don't see him for the next 2 episodes, and you see him in the second episode, and he has no lines for 35 seconds. He's standing there. So what does that say? Did they really want to construct this character, or they were using this show just to show them how good Kathleen Kennedy's characters have been? And look what we just did to your Boba Fett. We just demasculized him, made him look like a guy who's going through an identity crisis. And just at the point that you see that he's, going through this crisis himself, we get the whole thing with the Tusken Raiders, right? We're all like, okay, fine. We can see how this is starting to make sense. We're getting a little backstory of Tribe, and that's what he's trying to do as getting the crime syndicate. He's becoming a boss of the family, right?
Right.
And what killed this whole series for me was that one line at the end where he's walking with Fennec along the streets, and he says, "This is not for us." Are you telling me we watched all this shit for you to say, "Oh, we did this"? But hey, guess what? And then when he says this, and the camera pans to the Power Ranger crew.
Yeah.
Who should we do it? We're gonna let them do it now. What?
It had a double entendre.
And they had the when I saw the X-Wing coming in, at first I'm like, oh, it's Kim from the Kim's Convenience Store coming. That's what I thought. Then my daughter goes, no, Dad, that was R2. And I'm like, oh shit. Lucas coming back to the planet where he never wanted to come back to, right? And I'm like, oh, we're gonna get Han. We might get a Han crossover here, Millennium Falcon, something with the Spice Runners, some kind of contraband stuff, because that's what he did. He was a spice smuggler, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. So I was like, wow, this is interesting. And then you see Prill, the girl, the mechanic, goes up, and there's no Richard Simmons.
Well, that's what she looked like.
Oh my god, let's go! Yeah, and she goes up the ladder, and there's nobody in there. And I'm like, are you seriously telling me they Ubered freaking Grogu to freaking Tatooine?
Ubered him just in, and R2 was not pleased about it.
So ridiculous.
It's actually Jedi in dishes, like skip the dishes, so it's Jedi the dishes, pretty much.
And they feed him worms as soon as he gets there. It was like, oh, okay, he needs protein. I guess Luke wasn't feeding him. The thing is that you had Cad Bane, a known developed villain from the animation series, has a history with Fennec, has a history with Boba. Not one, they mentioned they knew each other, but would have been nice to have them to have a dialogue. Hey, remember when I shot you in the head and I gave you that dent? So that would have been cool. The fighting scene with him would have been even better if he would have used his jet boots and actually not die after, well, they're saying he's not dead. That's the rumor now, but they had all this potential to do so much more, right? When I saw Boba Fett and Jango Fett use their jetpacks, because God knows, he hasn't used his jetpack a lot in his freaking episode, because he was still developing, was too busy in the Bacta tank the whole series. I was like, okay, cool. This is going to be something crazy, but it dropped dry. And then you have these ongoing battle scenes, and they're not moving anywhere. They're behind this tank. That man, I want to know what that tank was made out of, because it was stole a bunch of shots, and it didn't blow up until the very end. And then they're in behind a freaking mud wall that's taking shots from a freaking droid. Like, that's some serious architecture there of dirt that can take a lot of standing. They just killed it. It really did. It was the most inconsistent character development story ever. worst of every Star Wars story that the prequels included is just, and Anzo knows me. For me to get to this point, it's because I lost hope in Disney Star Wars right now, and I pray to God that they don't kill it in Kenobi. I really hope they don't.
You bring up a very good point because, and Christina Killicar, I do see your member chat. Thank you so much for bringing that up because I can't see it in StreamYards, so I can only see it. I have to go back to the YouTube screen, and I see you, internet user, and of course, Mr. Buttcrack Media. I'm going to get to the super chats in a minute. First of all, there are like 45 of you folks in here watching, so thank you so very much.
Nice.
But Guy Scar, you and a lot of other people were really hoping that this was going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping that it was going to be good because, well, okay, hoping and kind of like, you know who's running the show, but I could be wrong, and I hope it wasn't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were thinking that this was actually going to be a good show. Boba Fett is, one of the biggest member berries of Star Wars that's out there. And a lot of people were very, very, very hopeful that this was going to be, a good show. And it's really heartbreaking that it seems even the casual, I'm kind of liking it and enjoying it fans are like, what the heck is this crap that you tried to sell me? I watched all these episodes and I got zero payoff.
Right. And this is because a lot of us, saw what Filoni has done, right? And everybody's has paved this road for Filoni as the second George Lucas in coming, right? That he's gonna save Star Wars and all this stuff. But this just proved that he's so full of himself right now, I think, that he thinks he can do whatever he feels like it. And he's following that path, oh my God, that I just can't follow right now. I just pray that Kenobi is good. They fucked that up. I don't know, man. I'm going back to the EU stuff.
I have some feelings about Kenobi, and I really think they're going to do it disservice with having another fight between them two. Because even with George Lucas and stuff and how he created Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, he mirrored them off of each other where there should be no fight in between.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know why they're doing those things.
They just want to do it to get fans all like, ooh, they're going to fight again. Woo, that kind of thing. They're doing it for nostalgic member berries. That's all. And I'm surprised no one has seen that. No one's seen that. They're just putting all this stuff out here as member berries to get fans excited because they don't care about lore and stuff. And people are now taking the bait and allowing it to happen, and they don't question the canon, they don't question the lore and why they're doing this.
Yeah. Exactly. There's Enzo back.
Sorry about that. The cat is.
Let me tell you, I understand when they're kittens like that. They're just like, what do you mean you're not paying me any attention?
Yes.
Guess what? I'm gonna force you to pay attention to me. That's what they freaking do. But first of all, there's 50 you folks in here watching. Thank you so very much. And we have a couple of super chats and member chats that I'd like to get to before we get to Fat Steven as well. So let's see here. We have Christine the Killer Car is a member for 2 months. She's actually been a member for 6 months, but she upgraded to the Caliente crew. She says, hey, beautiful, just stopping in to say howdy. Well, hello, my dear, and glad you stopped in to do that. And thank you so very much for being a channel member. I sure do appreciate that. Let's see, Mr. Buttcrack Media says the Book of Boba Fett sucked and it was really disappointing. That seems to be the sentiment of a lot of people. It's like I can't. I can because it's Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm. That something this half baked was put out there, and halfway through the season, 2 episodes that are the best episodes are the ones where Boba Fett isn't in it.
Yeah.
That makes absolutely no freaking sense to me. And I think I had brought up before that considering that the Mandalorian season 2, the show running was just sloppy with that. I didn't think they were going to be able to make this a tightly run show, and unfortunately it didn't. So God, it was
And
really disappointing.
and as much as I wanted to see Obi-Wan, now I don't really have excitement for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just like, oh man, I hope they don't mess that one up too.
You know.
I may be the only one on here be like, you know what? No, they already said they're gonna mess it up, and it's gonna just mess with George Lucas's movies and stuff. I recommend, before it goes on, if you guys really want to read something good, is read the Kenobi novel. And then read the first couple books, and then you can continue on if you wish with it, called The Last of the Jedi. And that we have Kenobi or Ben Kenobi right after when he delivers Luke and stuff, and how he's adapting to not really being a Jedi, but still being a Jedi, and how he has to perceive the world, and how he's now having to stay in exile. And The Last of the Jedi, especially the first two books in the series, is basically he does have to leave, and this is like within 2 years of his exile, so it's closer to him going in exile. But the main reason why he has to leave is to make sure all traces of the twins' birth on Polis Massa is covered up so that they don't discover him. Then he returns and stays put. So everything's done so close to the beginning of his exile, so he stays put and remains in his exile.
Okay.
Not 9 or 10 years later, so.
See, this is why I got OG on the channel here. So, internet user, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says Boba was so corny and nice. It was like he found religion in the Sarlacc pit. Maybe the Book of Boba was actually just a Book of Mormon. That's a good one. Thank you for that, internet user. And thank you, internet user, for another $2. More like the bath of Boba Fett, LOL. Yeah, with that Bacta tank in it, right?
Oh my God. And that's not how Bacta tanks work. You have to stick to it and stay in it. So like if you need like major healing, you're gonna stay in there for probably like up to weeks or up to a week and stuff. You just don't go in and out of it because it takes strain on the body. Also, after 5 years of getting injured and stuff like that, your body's healed, so Bacta's not going to work anymore. And so he keeps into it 5 years after, which doesn't make sense either.
I always thought he was abusing the tank.
Addiction.
Yes.
We got holodeck addiction and Star Wars, Star Trek, so why not?
Like he's in there too much. Like like it was odd the way it was presented, that and those Bacta dreams, man. I think that if he were in the Bacta tank, those were not the dreams that he had to have dreamt about something else. Every man dreams about something else, if you know what I mean.
Guaranteed. Absolutely right.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I was disappointed. I was very disappointed.
I just met you, and I agree with you 100%.
Facts.
That's all I'm saying.
I would love to have seen that, because that would have actually piqued my interest. Oh, and thank you, Mr. Brett Crack Media. I think I forgot to say it was $5 Canadian. So thank you for the 5 loonies. I sure do appreciate that. Thank you. Or 2 toonies and a loony. Yeah.
2 toonies.
There you go.
There you go. All right.
She's got her currency down. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite things, is when I go other places, like when I went to like Germany or Canada or the UK, I'd always have like the foreign money, and I'd bring it back. And my nephew was like obsessed with it, so I'd let him take some of it to school. So it's really cool for him to see like money, because it's so colorful.
It is.
From other places. And the British pence, I freaking love that. It's cool looking. Let's see. Oh, I have to see this. C-3PO. Master Luke ordered me to change Ben's diapers. Meanwhile, R2 gets to be in a TV show. I'm absolutely livid. Good one. Good one. Thank you for being here. And let's see. Molecular Arts, Reina Creole. Will Star Wars improve once KK is out? KK is never leaving.
No.
That is a fact.
At least you won't, when she does, you won't know about it. I mean, she's not going anywhere. I mean, people say like, from what I heard, Chapek renewed a lot of contracts, including Kathleen Kennedy's. So her voice may fade away, but she'll be in a corner someplace. You don't have to worry about Kathleen Kennedy. You have to worry about her lieutenants in Lucasfilm. That is who you have to worry about.
It seems like everybody seems to be on the same page right now, right? So they just destroying these characters, the ones we love: Luke, Han, Leia, Boba Fett. You know, all these characters that we love, they're destroying them. So they all seem to be on the same page.
I think, like what Guy Scar had said earlier, in order to make their characters look good, they have to destroy
the old ones,
the old ones, and it just says you have zero confidence in your ability to make up your own things or write your own lore. You have to destroy what's there, exactly what came before, so no one has anything to compare it to. It's like when I was saying about when I was at Galaxy's Edge, which it's like a strip mall with a dive bar in it. And there's people who walk through there expecting to see Star Wars. Like one guy was just like, where's the old Star Wars? I mean, they're just like, we don't know what the heck this is. So they're trying to, erase all of the existing lore, and then they wonder where all the freaking money went.
Well, what I'm doing, and I was waiting for the ending of the Book of Boba Fett to, start producing it. But I'm making a video out, and it's going to be behind iconoclast. So if you studied history and art history and all that, iconoclast means that, whether it's religion or not, that these nihilists are destroying the icons that people loved, praised, or whatever. And so I'm doing a video about that with Star Wars, and exactly what you were talking about, Lorena, and so is about destroying the iconic characters. So I'm using destroying the iconic characters. That's the true culture war. It's not about like if there's a female lead, because we have had them before in Star Wars, and it's it's about maybe them being Mary Sue, but in order for them to be Mary Sue, destroying the other characters like Luke, Leia, Han, Boba Fett, and stuff. So I'm concentrating on the iconoclast and iconoclasm of the characters rather than saying this is woke or that's woke, and that's the culture war, is them destroying them to make theirs shine. So
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Molecular Arts, for the $5 Australian. I appreciate that, mate. Hail team. May your 2022 be better than your 2021. Well, thank you. And especially down there where you are, dude. I certainly hope 2022 is better for you guys. So thank you so much for the support. I do appreciate that. And all of you in here with us. So, Fat Steven, you ready?
It's like you were preempting everyone else. All right. Let's get this done.
Go for it.
All right, let's get started. Story. First of all, continuing in the story, and this whole goddamn show is garbled and honestly word vomit and storytelling at its worst. I've seen colored by numbers with better storytelling, and I even have to fill in my own damn pictures. Secondly, it's called the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, we're getting episodes not even dealing with Boba Fett, and you're doing a prequel to the Mandalorian. I'm sorry, as much as you want to say I'm selling one character because I like it more, you show the care in one episode out of 7 that has better storytelling, cinematography, fighting, and it's not even about the same character. And he mentioned his name twice. Fennec says it at the end and says it at the front in the opening credits. The Book of Fett. All right. Now, next. I'm sorry. I'm hearing music. Is someone playing theme music for me? Like I'm dropping a rap?
See, I can get you some background music. Let me see.
No. You don't need that. I can turn on my Spotify. Let's do another one here. First of all, I don't give a rat's name in hell about an emotionally depressed rancor. Screw that. I don't care. It eats everything. Let it alone. Don't care. Let's look at the whole attachment and the vengeance with Slave One. If you say fire spray, I will slap you with the backhand of my fire spray. Let me tell you. It's called Slave One. He gets trained and saved by the Tuskens after he proves himself to beat up the Kraken from Clash of the Titans. Mind you. And then he finds out from Cad Bane that it wasn't even the bikers that killed them. Where is his rage and the fighting in that after finding out he was tricked? None of it. His emotional attachment, none of it. There is a whole storyline in here that could have attached him to the Tusken Raiders. It didn't even need these guys. He could have spent Fennec out or kept Fennec keeping like he was around and could have rounded up other Tusken things and said to them what happened. And that could have been enforced. That could have gone head on and done a Lord of the Rings Battle of Mordor, Tuskens versus Pikes. And it would have taken back the planet and shown that not even Tuskens want that tech there and keeps the Pikes out. You missed that whole storyline. Thirdly, this man has Alzheimer's. He got out of the pit.
Yes.
Somebody thought his armor jumped back in the pit. And then he's doing, let me get this straight. He is doing like the colonoscopy version of what's down in there. Can I see it? With his ship. Thirdly, then he drops a suppository. Let's not talk about that one in the desert. Oh my God. Fourth. Well, I'm at 60 or something like this. The Jetsons. I don't remember last time Hanna-Barbera sponsored Star Wars. I'm out. Let's look at the whole thing in general. This is that they WandaVision this. I'm going to be straight to the point. They WandaVision this. Halfway through, I had gas. I forgot what I was talking about. Alzheimer's again. It was like 2 ice creams and a B moment. There's so much. Okay, I get the nods. People are going to respect this. They're going to like the show because, oh, Lawrence of Arabia dances with wolves. Good for you. Most people of the generation take don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'll respect the cinematography. I'll respect how they have done the costumes, that trying to give us cool settings and stuff. But it's a desert planet. You know, really, it had more personality than half of the ending credits. The artwork had better scenery and action in a still than it did in the show. The dialogue is not only boring, it is latent and unemotional. I'm trying to give credit here, okay? You can call me a hater all you want. This is criticism.
Oh, no, you were not hating, honey.
And I'm going back to Gascar for a second. He said that line, this is not meant for us, or whatever the hell that line was. That was a double entendre. You know why he did that, then looked at the younger generation? It's to tell old fans to F off. Star Wars isn't for you anymore. It's for the younger ones. There's a metaphor.
For the colorful people.
Oh, and then I would like to know how I can't walk out, dig up some grass out of the front of my lawn and find a water coconut. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm still looking for that water coconut. Trust me, I'm going to have a water coconut fund, also known as my beer fund later. Thank you, Steph. Thank you for. I'm not done. Because.
Do you want to take a breath?
No, I'm okay. I got enough.
I thought maybe you'd want to take a breath and then continue with some more. I just wanted to give you that courtesy because I know you got more.
Okay, you're on fire though.
About 7 weeks, I have kept my mouth shut because I have seen what Echo Base has gone through when they're giving criticism and people come after them and bring them after the sun. You people out there that can't handle the fact they like the show and someone else did and they're criticizing it. If your fifis are hurt, block my channel. Block me right now. Mute it. Find the nearest Bubble Boy costume you can find from Jerry Seinfeld and wear it. I don't care. I don't care. This show is so all over the place that it doesn't matter how many comics you try to say came out of this, and that, and what novel. It doesn't make a full story because it shows that you had to take little bits and pieces from everything rather than use something that's already there. A format that has been there for years. It is called the EU. I know you don't want to accept it. I know we're not supposed to accept it. It doesn't exist anymore, but there is stuff there you can actually adapt to these characters and give them what's it called when we want to care about a character? Personality.
Yeah, character development, personality.
Yes.
Oh my God, Boba Fett is how is it
invested?
Cad Bane says Boba Fett is one of the most ruthless killers ever. The only thing he kills is the ability to talk because he doesn't talk anymore. He is so let's not talk about his dentures that came from a Billy Mays commercial. I'm not getting into that one either. There is so much wrong with this. That and I know people are going to give me slack. Oh, you're just a hater. Why can't you just accept for what it is? Because I'm tired of being told what I should accept for what it is. I don't have to like it, but I will definitely put in what everything's good and what's wrong with it. I love the Rancor ride. I did. I thought it was great. Seeing this one, Boba ride at Rancor, hell yeah. The Jetsons, hell no. The Darksaber, even though it shouldn't even be in this series. All right, cool, but the man can't even lift it. It's like, oh my God, my kid's so nice.
Okay, I'm going to pause you.
I'm going
to pause you real quick on the Darksaber. Okay, so they verified that the Fetts are Mandalorian. Okay, because of his father, because of Jester, taking and stuff. So why didn't Boba recognize the Darksaber then?
Thank you. And why
Thank you.
Alzheimer's, like the armor. Alzheimer's.
Right.
Alzheimer's, like the armor.
beat him up and taken the dark saber from him. That's what
I
I
know.
And then
'Cause
let's
why is it that like Moff Gideon could wield the dark saber like a pimp,
Exactly.
but Boba Fett, but but the Mandalorian's like, oh my god, I can't use this sword.
Because he's
It's heavy.
I can tell you right now, it's because he's a brother. He has a counterweight.
oh my god.
Okay, Lorena.
Oh god, you just made a tripod joke. I got it.
Oh my God.
Well, we're an hour in, so it's
But-
okay.
Yeah, but
Lorena, I will add this real quick. You know, Din Djarin, everybody could shoot at him. They hit his armor so he doesn't go down. When he handles that friggin' darksaber, he actually hits himself where there's no armor and injures himself. He's
Facts. Facts.
I said, how the hell can you freaking go?
It's equivalent of shooting his eye out. Like
Exactly, or shooting himself in the foot.
and you know what? I will not disrespect or say anyone is dumb for liking this. That's not my place.
No,
But-
if you
but at
like it,
This point,
you like it.
at this
yeah, I
point,
liked it.
the things that make Star Wars great, there was none of it in it. That's the problem. Why are we waiting 4 episodes to get one good one? Do you understand that mentality just means consuming and eventually you'll get pleased? I'm sorry. When was the last time you went to a theater, a theme park, a water park, any type of event where you could drop anywhere from $50 to $150 and you only got 5 minutes of joy? And it better not be just leaving.
Exactly. Well, speaking of joy, there's a couple of super chats I want to get
So
to.
I am
before
so
we
sorry.
go-
I'm sorry.
Before
That's
we
half mine, Renegade. That's half mine.
before we go
Sorry.
on. First of all, Terminus, I'm so sorry I missed your initial super chat because the chat just went right on by me. So thank you. If I miss a super chat, if I miss your super chat, please do tell me so I can go back and get it because we have 60 people in here watching. You
Wow.
guys are amazing. Please do hit that like button. This is the after school special. And I'm hanging out here with my friends, doing what I used to do with my friends when I was a kid in school when we saw a crap
Breathing.
show on TV and we all had to talk about it. That's pretty much what we're doing here. So Terminus, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He says Luke's starting a delivery service called FedEx Wing.
I'm happy that he said that and they were not calling it like Latinx wing. That'd be even worse.
Oh my god.
An internet user for another $2. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the support. Where's that Star Wars Iconoclast video again? Look like that's one's for you, OG.
Which one? Okay, there was okay, so Icon class basically where is that? Okay, so it's going to be coming out soon. There's a lot of research going behind that because it goes back into like Icon class where it goes into art from art history back in like in the Roman era and stuff like that. So I have to make sure I have all my ducks aligned and stuff, and you will find out exactly what I'm talking about, and you'll see the correlations with it with our franchises. In fact, Lord of the Rings is going through it right now.
I'm so pissed about Lord of the Rings. I think
Oh,
I'm gonna
God,
get
no,
I'm
God,
gonna
no,
get
no.
the actual books and I'm gonna read them.
Good luck.
I
You get
started-
at least 1,500
I
pages. Good luck with that.
Oh no, I
Get
can
the
do it. That's not a
audiobook,
problem.
Lorena. Get the
Exactly. That's what I'm
No,
doing.
not
I'm
the
getting the
audio.
Oh,
audiobook.
that's lazy. You gotta get the real paper.
Oh no,
Come
no,
on.
no. That
Come on.
no, that is not
Audiobooks
lazy.
are not for you. Let's
That
just
is
put
not
myself on
lazy.
the
You know what? When you have more money than time, audiobooks is the way to freaking go.
That is facts. Facts.
That's the way to go.
Yes,
But
definitely.
you buy the book. Why? Because you put it on your bookshelf because it's like,
Or your
dang, I
table is
freaking
uneven.
got it.
Mhm.
There you go. That's how you do it.
Okay,
And
hold on.
Valiant Renegade, thank you so very much for the $9.99 super chat and for being a channel member. I appreciate that, my dear. Says preach Stephen. Oh yeah, he was definitely preaching.
I'm
Yeah,
not
he-
there.
I'm sorry, I kind of slowed his roll because I was like, I gotta say something.
I know, but
I'm
you know
not
what,
done.
Fat Stephen, go ahead on, my dear. Please resume.
Okay,
Yeah.
Black Cranston is one of the best characters in the show, and all he does is grunt.
And get shivved in the neck.
No, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But okay, like honestly, the desert, like okay. There's, I don't care the reasonings of the side. I will always understand and respect everyone's opinion about this, but the show is so far in between from storytelling. It's not even like a choose your own adventure because you're trying to figure out why is this episode going with this episode? Why are you so focused on flashbacks of how his attachment with the Tusken Raiders supposed to mean something, and then it ends up with nothing. He literally just said, he even said this one, I'm the one who killed them. And then there's no recourse. He doesn't want like redemption for this. How is it the Mandalorian in this show says, hey, you need to bathe yourself under a volcano while rubbing your nipples and chanting, I love Maria 3 times. But Boba Fett's like, I killed them. That's it. And then he's told that he was tricked. break, and he's still like, let's go for Starbucks. I'm trying.
You deserve a dip in my Bacta tank.
You get away from me. I feel like I need an
There's been
adult.
too many people in that Bacta tank, honestly.
How did
For
Cat
real.
Bane know about
Yeah.
the Bacta tank? How did Cat Bane know about the Bacta tank? Is he watching Boba in his sleep?
Very little
He's a
spoiler.
ruthless
He
killer.
talks about
He
everything.
offers and
Walks
turns.
out of nowhere. Walks out of nowhere. You know.
No, he took the Uber service. OG. He hopped the cab from X-Wing to Desert and back, and he picked up Yoda and went down
Because
there.
Bacta tank is
There
code
is-
word for something else.
Okay, and I'll lay this straight. I'll lay this straight. I know, and I'll put up to this. The art of storytelling when it comes from Disney is dead. We can look back in the day when they started telling, when we had when the Magical Vault commercials used to open. Come on, get it for normal time, and you get like the Little Mermaid or 101 Dalmatians, and everyone remembers those cartoons because they were so fantastic, and well done, and it was a memory. Like the magical world of Disney is no longer there, and it shows with these properties as they're coming out. They're using the title the same way Kurtzman uses Star Trek, but they are not storytelling. They are putting a whole bunch of imagery on there because they think the generation of the screen that is addicted to the screen and the instant fixation, the instant joy, it is going to last them, and it's not. Hawkeye is an example. WandaVision an example. Loki is an example. All of these things have one thing in common. The continuity of their storylines don't match up. Their characters are very underdeveloped or overpraised because they're trying to sell a new character, or they're literally trying to throw in as many member berries as possible to make you not think about what is not going on, which is entertainment. And I don't care how much Mandalorian armor you wear or put over a show, it does not make it protected from criticism.
No,
Garbage.
nothing should be. Nothing should be. And I kind of get aggravated at people who tell you what you should and should not watch. First of all, you're not telling me, who are you to tell me what to watch and what not to watch, number one. My job here, like a lot of these people, pretty much everyone here in the panel, is just to give our opinion of it. And you can pretty much do whatever it is that you want with it. Just because you criticize something doesn't mean that you hate it. And no property should be immune to criticism. There was a time where criticism of entertainment was expected, not only expected, but it was actually respected for you to do that, because getting the criticism is, what made you find out if your property was great or if it was crap. But to get back to something that Fat Steven was talking about, which is that Disney is no longer about storytelling. It is about merchandising. And I'll get to that last point in a minute. With Disney, and granted, I all know me, I go to Disney parks. I've been a Disney fan since I was really little. It used to be about telling amazing stories. And you had Imagineers who would tell amazing stories. And it got to the point where Disney stopped making those cool stories and like the cartoons and animated features that they did like in the 90s and all of that, to the point where they had to buy Pixar because Pixar was doing it better than they were. And then they bought Pixar, and then they started doing this stuff by committee. The brain drain, that's basically what happened. Creative talent said, you're not allowing us to be creative, so we're leaving. Like case in point, that's how they pushed John Lasseter out. Do you remember that? From Pixar. So a lot of that talent is gone. So what you have left are, the third and fourth stringers who have to attempt to justify to keep their jobs by doing this crap. And there's no creativity. And that's the problem. There isn't. And it's not that the creativity isn't out there, because why are platforms like YouTube blowing up? Why do you have like Netflix and Amazon putting out their own stuff and people are going there and watching that stuff? But to get back to the merchandising thing, and I actually called this, do you remember in the that this finale, God, I can't freaking believe that they did that, but I do believe that they did that. Baby Yoda, right? Okay. He sees the angry Rancor, and I keep hearing, "Why can't we be friends?" That song, and in my head, why can't we be friends? Exactly. So he's like, "Tell me up to woman. No, I'm good." I'm like, "Oh freaking God, he's gonna use the Force again. Really? You're going with this again?" I love Baby Yoda. I got like 3 stuffed ones. little
I was
scamp.
hoping he would have been 8, and I'm sorry. I don't like Baby Yoda. I don't. Sorry.
You know what? It honestly wouldn't.
It's
It wouldn't have.
okay.
It
It's
would
okay
not
to like him. That's why
it's
this
okay.
is
Mhm.
I would
so
have laughed
good.
at
It's
that.
okay to feel that
But I
way.
would have laughed harder if the Rancor would have ate him and then threw him up.
For real. For real.
I totally would have liked that. But
Mhm.
Baby Yoda uses the Force to calm the Rancor. Exactly, CW Trixie. He calms down the Rancor, and the Rancor goes to sleep. And
And
then
then
Baby Yoda walks into him and snuggles up next to him. And so
Mhm.
now they're friends. That's going to be the next plush duo set to come out of Disney.
Mhm.
The Rancor and Baby Yoda. I guarantee you. And that's on purpose.
I forgot one thing
Yeah.
quickly, and I wanted to add this. This was related to you know how you were hoping for the whole Luke and training with the Grogu and the Mandalorian?
Yes.
That's probably going to be the next season.
You know, I always thought they were going to do
Why?
like an animated series with Luke and Grogu. Like to
But-
me makes more sense because
But
just
think about it.
personally.
Yeah, but think about it. Why would they be so adamant on showing those types of episodes in this series unless they've already pre-filmed it because it's part of the next season?
Mhm.
I'm giving you that right now.
Well, it
Well,
was
he needs
in.
more training,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
between you and I. He shouldn't have come back now, and he needs more training. And I still don't know why he's here, but an animated series would have been fine for that part. We didn't need live action for like the 5 years that they may be training together. We didn't.
Okay, so they're keeping continuity with their Disney trilogy because when
But-
Luke gives him the ultimatum, basically like what the old Jedi used to do, either you choose this or you be a Jedi kind of deal. He says, if you choose the lightsaber, then you will be my first student
Right.
of the academy. Wow, we already know that the first
It's
student of
Ben.
the academy
It's
is
Ben.
Han Solo. His
Yeah.
first student ever is Leia, his sister. So
Mhm.
you can't retcon that
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's why.
Mhm.
That's why we see him. And then he's also a marketing tool to keep everybody watching Mandalorian because they got to be together as a couple.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
I would have watched it if Grogu wasn't there. Like if we didn't see Grogu for another 5 or 6 years, I would have been fine. And I love Grogu.
You're probably
Right.
exception to the rule. You're one of them that's exception to the rule. A lot of them won't watch Mandalorian if Grogu's not there.
Yeah, but he needs Grogu. What's best for Grogu is what's most important. Like he needs to, finish doing what he needs to do.
Training. Mhm.
Mhm.
And then he can see that, like the Mandalorian should be going there like every year, like Father's Day, all that good shit.
Yeah.
That's what it should
Bringing
be.
you stuff. Hey, I
My
brought this
son's
for
at
you
camp.
this year.
I'm also
Jedi
going to throw
camp.
down. I'm also going to. Sorry, I was going to say I'm also going to throw down here because I think I'm the first person who ever realized this back when Mandalorian season 1 came out. For anyone who doubts what I'm about to say, make sure you have a Google tab open and Google search Grogu's name spelled backwards. It is a marijuana strain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is the
True.
that is the ineptability of their creativity.
Mhm.
How can some guy must have been looking for weed online in Lucasfilm? And be like, that's like a good name backwards. I'm going to use that for my next character. So it's a little green dude who has the backwards name of a marijuana strain. We're
I
going,
bet you
Disney.
that's the joke.
Yeah.
What about Grogu try Grogu? Can you imagine being in that pitch meeting? Well, let's call it what do we got names for it? Let's call it Grogu. Yeah, what is that? That's the name of weed spelled back.
Just made it up, and then they're just cracking up in the back. They don't
Why
know
do
what
I
the hell
smell
it is.
oregano? I don't know. Just worry about your Ugork and Grogu and go on your way.
You know that's what the deal is.
Mhm.
I know it's like I love Baby Yoda and hate Baby Yoda at the same time. It's one of those things. It's to me because I do. He
Why
just looks
has
like
no-
absolute cute.
And
Why has no one dressed him in 3 seasons? I'm sorry. We're going to use this.
Yeah, it's like they don't have baby
He's got
clothes.
wearing a
this
potato,
big,
wearing a
ugly,
potato sack.
ugly
Mhm.
little thing.
You're part of my kin. I'm not going to
There's-
dress you though. You're still part of my kin, Captain.
but there's no
Potato
doubt
Sack.
about it. This was the most rushed, part of the entire thing. Because we had, let's say for all practical purposes, the Book of Boba Fett
Mhm.
was yeah, I agree with you, Louise X Sparrow. For all practical purposes, the Book of Boba Fett had its own pace. And, Grogu should have had time to do things. Din has
Develop.
personal shit to deal with personally. Now he has, Grogu, and Grogu's not, the easiest child to take care of. he's a
He's doing
handful.
PTSD, yeah, too.
Yeah. And also, I've been rushed other times. I've ended relationships over people who tried to rush me. They're trying to rush me, and I don't like that.
Faster.
Yes. That's what it feels like to me personally. And I don't like to be rushed.
I agree with you. I did not expect to see Baby Yoda. I see him as another like Deus Ex Machina tool. And I don't like that because to me, if you've ever taken any kind of course in creative writing, a Deus Ex Machina is not something that is, let's put it this way, it's frowned upon. You can use it very rarely, but it's kind of like a cop out when you do that. Because I had one English teacher, we were like, what's a Deus Ex Machina? He's like, when you see an action movie and you think the heroes are going to die, and then all of a sudden this helicopter comes out of somewhere and just picks them up. He said, that's what it is. That's what a Deus Ex Machina is. It's godlike machine. But you have Baby Yoda here. It's like they see him and it's like, oh, it's so cute. Well, forget that our writing is crap, and here's our our merchandise insert. And I don't like that they brought him back that quickly, because it tells me you do not have faith in the writing that you're doing for the Mandalorian and developing his character, which is why two of the best episodes of the show, Boba Fett's not in. It's the freaking Mandalorian. They're even playing the music, and everything, and everything about it. So, man, I just
And it looked like for Mandalorian season 3 that they were gonna do the Mandalore War, right? He's gonna go back to Mandalore and stuff like that with the Darksaber. They don't need Grogu for that. If that's what they're gonna do, they don't need him there, right? And they can have his story and build up his story, and then maybe at the end of the season you bring him back or something like that if you want to do that. But they don't need him.
But see, feeding off what you're just saying, Hanzo, that would have been even great to have Boba Fett go back to his root of Mandalore and claim what his father was, right?
And then fight, and then go ahead and fight Din for that Darksaber, because that's what Boba should be doing, confronting Din and saying, yeah, I know you have your friends, your watch friends, but I am Boba Fett.
Wait, but Din isn't a Mandalorian.
That Darksaber from you, bitch, or something like that.
But is Din a Mandalorian after being shunned? Is he still could he even fight another Mandalorian?
That lore so much, because you have like them saying, oh, we're the last of the Mandalorians. Well, then what happened to Bo-Katan and them? So, and so they're so screwed up with their lore right now, and they have these factions. So, and they forget about the code, because the code is not, the Mandalorians is not a religion. It's a creed, a code, a culture. So the original Mandalorian culture, anybody who was adopted in, there's no race. The Tong used to be the Mandalorians. They used to occupy Coruscant. They got pushed out, and this is like what, 20 there are 10,000 years ago or something, like in Star Wars history. And then they went and they found the planet. They called it Mandalore. And then from there, their species started dying out, but they also adopted different species, humans and what have you. And it started developing into a creed and into a culture. And so then we started seeing anybody who's adopted in, no matter what you are, who you are, you just follow the creed, the culture and what have you. And then you're a Mandalorian. Here, it looks like it's just humans. It looks like humans. It looks like they had since the Clone Wars, Filoni's Clone Wars, they made it a split faction, which George Lucas era really didn't go with the split faction. After that happened, they still maintained constant Mandalorian culture after that. So with Filoni's Clone Wars or Filoni's Mandalorians, it started splitting up in factions. And so now you have them saying, if you take the mask off, you're not Mandalorian. But then Bo-Katan's like, we got our masks off, we're still Mandalorian. So it's I don't know. To me, it's still, they're still screwing up on the lore with that. They don't know which way they want to go. And now he has to go take the bath. Now he has to go
rubbing his nipples and talking
go take a bath.
What about the idea that, you remember OG Star Wars, Satine was the one who wanted to have a more peaceful, she's sort of a pacifist approach to the ruling of Mandalore. And I thought for sure this is what Boba thought about. Oh my God, I want to be like Satine.
No, because they went ahead and talked against. They talked because Jango Fett's adoptive father, Jester Morales, the one that killed one of Voss's family members and stuff, and so they hate the Fetts, and so he's with Satine. So there's no way that he would have adopted that, because they were the true Mandalores.
Interesting.
I hate this rickshaw. I want to punch it every time I see
This
it.
was one of the. You know what this
Oh
whole
my
scene
God.
served as? Okay,
Flintstones?
funny. Yeah, I thought about that too. When I used to watch The Walking Dead, when it was actually good, okay, we used to joke that whenever Daryl's character would save a kid, that was so fundamental to men being protective that, basically your uterus would pretty much explode watching that, because that's like so primal when like the kid's about to get killed and Daryl comes and sweeps him up. Okay, why is it in this episode Baby Yoda gets flung up in the air, okay, and Mando catches him
Mhm,
without
It's a
dropping
repeat
his gun?
a
mhm.
repeat of something we've seen 20 times already, and
Exactly.
it's an unnecessary scene.
But you know
Right.
why it's there.
And when I watched that scene, it looked like Baby Yoda did something to the droid, Grogu, because he puts his hand up and then they show the droid start smoking and then it blows up. And I was like, did he do that? I tried to see if there was a blaster shot or anything that hit the droid. I didn't see nothing. So I found that pretty weird.
He's not easy to take care of. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, he is not
Give
easy
him-
to take care of.
Mm-mm.
Look, just go to what is it? Gap Mandalore Kids. Pick him up an outfit. Make him look like he's wearing chainmail under his potato sack. What? Mandalore Gap Kids is funny. He like honestly, this kid will never get any taller. You can literally just take the clothes off a Lego man, put it on him. He's good to go. Like look at the picture here. Look at Din Djarin. Like there's something wrong with his shoulders. Like,
Oh
what-
my gosh. That's just too funny. Let's see. I got two more super chats that I need to get here really, really, really quick. So Terminus EST for $5. Thank you so very much, my dear. The Bacta tank somehow replaced Boba's junk with the JJ.
You know what?
He's got a case of
He doesn't
Bacta
have a
tank.
JJ either. He
JJ
has
tank?
nothing. There's nothing.
For
Coming
real.
from someone who has a vajayjay. He has nothing. It's all gone. There's nothing there.
Everything.
sad.
They
He
have
went
just
Kendall?
sucked all the
He's a
testosterone
Kendall.
out of him. Really. Yes, that's exactly
a
what he
Kendall.
is. He's a Ken doll.
What am I?
He's a Ken doll with some of the ugliest drawers I've ever seen. I could have lived without
They
that.
should have just let him be nude. I'm
and-
sorry. I don't
That's
care.
what I'm saying.
I
I would
feel
have been
bad
like, this is
for-
nice.
I feel bad for the game Fallen Order because they even threw that droid in there, and like, you
Mhm.
really have to go
Yeah.
in there and just bring that in there? That game was
Yeah.
great,
Mhm.
and you
Mhm.
threw it in there
Yeah.
with what happened to that woman? She was beautiful. Now she's like Richard Simmons' distant Osmond cousin. What happened?
I can't. I
can't
can't. You know they make
stand
those
her.
chicks ugly. Ugh.
Here's your
much spice.
stick. Can you hit yourself for us? We don't want to get sued. We'll still give you a paycheck. We'll tell you when to stop. Here's your wig.
Well, Commander Ed Stracker of Shadow, thank you so much for that $5 super chat and for being a channel member. The Book of Boba Meh was brought to you by Disney's Institute of Advanced LARPing, Lucasfilm, and Industry LARPing Lights, and Not So Magical.
There's no magical.
It could have been though. It
That's
could have been.
funny. Oh man, thank you so much for that, Commander Ed Stracker of Shadow. I surely do appreciate that. Man.
Yeah.
What was the point of that Vespa gang anyway? Just to look somewhat supposedly cool and hip. And look, we're with it. Don't you like the Power Rangers?
It's
Absolutely
Ram
not.
City?
No.
It's
Absolutely
a desert
not.
planet, and they're not getting
You
any-
know, it was filler. It honestly was filler because
I
one
was
of the
hoping
biggest.
that Boba was going to hook up those Vespas and put rocket launchers on them or something.
I was expecting for
See,
the
I
Pride
would have
Parade on
been
Tatooine.
down with that because how many souped up vehicles did we see, on Tatooine where you're getting parts and everything to put stuff together?
I will say this, okay? So this, like, I recommended the Kenobi novel, and everything happens on Tatooine in the Kenobi novel because that's right when he goes into exile, delivers Luke, all that. Well,
Right.
there's a scene that he's in Anchorhead and he's getting supplies from his shop there, from Annaline's shop, and some of Jabba's minions comes to see Oren Galt, which is a guy who is basically made a secret deal with Jabba, and they're like they're coming to get the money that he promised. and Annalene don't know nothing about it. So when they pull in, they're in a land speeder, but it's souped up. It's got fire marks on it like a racer car would, and it's bumping. So I really don't say much. I think it's still out of place because how colorful it is.
Yeah.
But with ridiculous vehicles, there are them inside the lore, even past lore. There are ridiculous vehicles. Now, do these make sense on Tatooine? No, they don't. There should have been more wear and tear to them. There should have been, it shouldn't be as shiny because it's a sand planet. Sand does wear down and stuff. So I get everybody's point on that. However, I can't really say, oh, well, that was blah, 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 because even in the original lore, there was ridiculous, crazy vehicles out there. So sorry to shoot everybody down. No, I'm sorry.
No. Like I said, I would have gone with that if the vehicle, like you say, they weren't so like shiny, because Tatooine is not like a rich planet. It's like you've got the underworld with
it's the ghetto. It's the ghetto.
It's exactly that's exactly where it is. So I would expect if you have these speeders and everything that it's like cobbled together with parts you have to negotiate with from Jawas or whatever. So that's like what I would expect, not the bright shiny.
And then they can't. And then they're like can't even get water for themselves. So how do they have water to keep everything clean?
Exactly.
Right. So that one didn't make sense either. So there we go. Yeah, but just a little history on that.
It doesn't. But you know what? I am so sorry for those of you who thought that this was going to be good and it turned out that it wasn't.
Please stop.
If you liked it, that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. If you liked it. But I just really, really wish that it would have been something better. I think that Disney just does not want to go there ratings wise with what they would have to do to make him be a quote unquote proper bounty hunter and a proper mob boss at the same time. Right. So it's obvious that they didn't want to get down and dirty with that. So this is what we wind up getting. So
and
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and like Gaishka said earlier, at the end of it, it makes it seem like they're just gonna leave the planet and go do other stuff. And I'm like, really? This is what we watch Book of Boba Fett for?
This is not for us.
Maybe
if it's not us, then who? And it pads over to them.
Yeah. Let's go back to bounty hunting. Let's do that,
I'm like, you mofos couldn't figure this out in episode 1?
For real.
Identity crisis.
I know, or at least kind of either had Boba Fett wake up in the back of the tank like, nah, that's not how it's going to go down.
And they let the sheriff at Freetown die.
Yeah, they shot the sheriff and the deputy. I have to give credit to that to 19K Fox for coming over.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was so funny.
they took a whole bunch of characters and but Ahsoka's safe. Hey, at least thanks Filoni for that. At least Ahsoka's safe. Like, why didn't even Ahsoka give assistance? Like, hey, guess what?
She didn't want to have anything to do with this shit.
I'm just like, who is this chick? And I don't care who she is. But I'm glad Rosario Dawson's got acting work. But other than that, I could bring it care. Last thoughts as we wrap up, and we'll start with Enzo and go around.
Like I said, I'm not excited for anything else they're doing right now. I'll watch it because I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 3 years old. So I'll always be there to watch it. I am praying that there's something that they give me that I'll be like, yes, finally, but until then, I'm just like, right now, all the stuff that they're putting out is just, it's not cutting it for me. So.
Yeah.
Everyone does that same.
I know, right?
y'all don't hear it, but I can keep a track for every time we talk about pop culture. It's always like, what are your thoughts? Hold on, I have guests coming out of another hole. I gotta get this out right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. We're all here going, yeah. It's like we all wanted something.
Yeah. We continue to do it.
They really threw us for a curveball, didn't they? I mean, this was really, like jerking our chain around quite a bit on this one, I have to say.
It had the potential to be great. Yeah, it had the potential to be great,
It certainly did.
It just turned into a bunch of chafing with no actual ending. That's pretty much what it was. Okay? Well, I was being polite.
That's a very good
Chafing on
description.
Tatooine. Yeah, that makes sense. Chafing on Tatooine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
except for if
seriously.
you're riding a Vespa,
It's
because they're
true.
somehow immortal,
Oh my
like the
gosh.
Highlanders of Vespas. There could be only one. Oh crap! The paint don't break. I'm just kidding.
I think Boba should have just left the Bacta tank and spent the entire season or episode in Sanctuary, and then would have gotten blown up. That would have been the end of the show.
For real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
I would
honestly
rather-
thought he was going to hang out there for most of the show, honestly.
I was really
Right, they were
hoping
fighting
Boba would just chill out, reopen the bar that got blown up, and have a cardiac arrest from like a Tuscan burger or something.
Guys, you have any more last thoughts?
Oh, I was just gonna say, you know, they had the opportunity to do something great with this scene, like Steven said before. You know, the whole when Cad Bane told him that who killed the Tuscan Raiders, I think that should have been the moment where he just lose this crap and actually, you know,
Reverts back to his old self.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you know, you got Fennec in the back. Don't do it. No,
She was
talking him down.
playing all over the damn place.
I know. It's like, Heifer, shut up. He needs to go ham right now.
But it's against how she'd been talking the whole series, you see?
Right. Yes. And nobody's been listening to him. Like, he's like, we're going to go back to the palace store. Like, no, we're staying here. It's like, yes, we're staying here. You know? Okay. I'm like, really?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we were talking about romantic affairs with him. Maybe it's Fennec. I don't know. He's listening to her pretty like this. Okay, we're staying here. Sure thing. Who knows?
I know
Who knows?
there's a
But
mark,
you know
with
what?
the peace theory.
It felt flat. It really did. I was hoping for so much more. Like I said before, I've always been one to like, you know, I when I went into the last movies that came out from Disney, I was like, yeah, okay, they're not too bad. Then, you know, me and Ozzo started talking some more, and he goes, yeah, but look at this. And then I was like, shit, bro, you're right, man. This is crap. Disney Star Wars is crap. And I have to say, and he's gonna hate me for saying this, I think from all the Disney Star Wars we got, the only decent movie from all of them was Rogue One.
I can give
I
that.
will kind of disagree with you on that. I'm sorry, but it's a rehash from what is it called, Dark Forces with Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors and stuff. And I think it's the only reason why people thinks it's so good is because you can see the storyline is very much the same.
Yeah,
and I call that secondhand stories. You guys, we are getting secondhand stories. Why not celebrate the original stories?
Right, but they won't, right?
No,
That's wishful
because-
thinking. That's
No.
wishful thinking.
Disney
But that
doesn't
goes to
do
any
that.
movie that's coming out right now. They're all rehashes and reboots because it's like creativity is not there anymore. It's like
Right. Mm-hmm.
No, they don't want to take the risk with that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I'll do my conclusion here. So, like I said, my channel, my niche is all about George Lucas era of Star Wars, and you know, my thing is like everybody's getting secondhand stories, which, you know, I had no hope after they said in 2014 we're no longer going with the EU, we're decanonizing them. And so then I never really had any expectations at all. But so with this is another proof of icon class with Boba Fett. You guys are getting the story of Boba Fett, but it's not the original stuff. They had destroyed who Boba Fett is, where he comes from, and his whole initial arc. And sorry to say that it was such a terrible story writing as well, because they could just still, if they want to do their own creativity, they could still give you guys, everybody who wants to continue with Disney Star Wars, a fascinating story that still held true to his character arc, even though they're not going to redo it, and still gave everybody the bounty hunter that, you know, doesn't give a shit, you know, and stuff like that. But they didn't, and I think that's what breaks my heart for everybody who was expecting so much. It didn't happen, and I don't expect it. I don't, and I'm just here to compare and contrast and enjoy what I am giving you guys with George Lucas era, and that's how I see this, and this is how I'm seeing Kenobi too. It's not going to be what it was originally given.
Can I add something quickly to this quickly? And,
sure.
and OG is right. Steve and her and Stig are really good with this comes to stuff. But we're in the generation now where Twitch ASMR has better content than Disney Star Wars. I want you to think about that. Or the Adventures of Pluto Nash has a better character development than Disney Star Wars. And you let that sink in for a little bit. Go watch Pluto Nash, and you will know what I'm talking about.
I hear you.
I will never watch Pluto Nash again.
I will. Yeah, exactly. I'm not watching that stuff again. I'm done with that
Big
one.
Boba's house, like Big Mama's
Uh,
house. All it was Big Boba's house. That's all it was.
God.
Yeah.
I can see the memes.
I get too many. Internet user, thank you so much for the $5. I sure do appreciate it. The show lived up to its end credit song lyrics. Dum da dum dum. You're not wrong. You're so not wrong. Oh, Fat Steven, any last thoughts before I wrap us up here?
I don't know if the internet can take any more from me because I know there's a lot of Star Wars going fan. Well, you're just a racist. Damn straight. I'm a racist against bad storytelling. You got it right. I'm right. That's it. No, I'm just I storyist, whatever it's called. I don't care. Like, honestly, I like after WandaVision, everyone knows the amount of work I put into WandaVision. Lorena, you even know that. The amount of work I put into WandaVision. It killed my analytical mind to even have any faith in Disney and Marvel.
I know.
And there's a lot of people out there that they're the same as me, but Boba Fett's been that for them, or Loki. And all I can say is, because Disney will never say it, Marvel will never say it, I'm sorry. But find something else to put your analytical fun into that these shows were supposed to give you and make something of it. But don't give up on your own self because the passion was killed. I found it again. It took a few months or a year. But don't let this crap that disappoints you deter you from trying to find enjoyment in the little things.
Right. And there's always something else out there. I'm just amazed how many I want to say foreign box office. Like I know for me, I've been like doing deep dives into anime and I'm like, oh my God, this is freaking amazing. Oh God, season 2 of Demon Slayer. Lord have mercy, this past episode. I think that almost broke me. And the finale is next Sunday. That's really gonna break me. But yeah, with respect to this show, they screwed up. They had a chance to do something solid, something great, to bring you something more interesting about Boba Fett's character, and they didn't, in favor of propping up the Mandalorian, which is pretty much what they did. I don't expect Kenobi to be all of that great. Like I said, ever since Kathleen Kennedy announced the quote unquote rematch of the century, I'm like, no. The rematch of the century between those two, between Vader and between Obi-Wan, was in A New Hope. So I have no idea how you're going to do that. I really don't have faith in them doing that because they've got a track record now. The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett. Don't really expect for Obi-Wan to change, but I know it's like I want to see Hayden Christensen. I really do. But it's kind of like a train wreck, or like a car crash. You should keep going, but you're gonna slow down and look.
You're gonna like just watch and keep going.
You're just gonna slow down, and look. And I am, because I am gonna slow down and look. The person who says, "Don't go over there." Don't go. That's me. So I'll probably tell you don't go over there.
Well, there's going to be spoilers. He's going to be in a back to tank having flashbacks as well.
Yeah. Well, maybe if he has a back to tank flashback, maybe he's getting it on with somebody. At least make it.
Thank you.
Well, with that said, folks, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and a special thanks to all of my amazing folks here on the panel. Please do subscribe to all of them. Their channel links and everything are all in the description box of this video. So please do that. You guys have been amazing with your super chats, with your comments. Yes. So do appreciate it. And again, this is just our opinions. You go watch it or not watch it, but make up your own mind. Make up your own mind with that. Okay? Yes, exactly. And if you're watching this on the replay, would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, folks, for doing this episode of the After School Special. And we will see you all later.